Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here with a Digit keynote address kicking off this 7-minute-long Digit Developers Conference. We have workshops and cocktails for you for the rest of the day, but you have to bring your own cocktails and workshops, and you don't actually get to go anywhere. Never mind. It's May 8th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. Privacy and security. That was the surprising theme of Google's kickoff keynote to its Google I/O 2019 Developers Conference yesterday. And as much as I like to give crap to Apple for beating the privacy war drum, well, guess who's a little trendsetter now, huh? Because now Facebook wants privacy and Google wants privacy, and what's next? GasBuddy? Spoiler alert, that's not the last time you'll hear about GasBuddy in this podcast. Anyway, now Google is suddenly all concerned about privacy, and as they say, actions speak louder than words. So what actions are we talking about? We've already covered how Google has made your data available to you so you can see what they know. We also talked about how you can now auto-delete your history after a given amount of time, 3 months, 18 months, etc. As of yesterday, a large number of cloud-based processes Google was implementing are now moving onto the device. Translation, live captions, receiving and understanding voice commands, etc., all moving onto the device. Sundar Pichai even wrote a New York Times op-ed about privacy. Well, okay, Sundar Pichai's PR firm wrote an op-ed, but anyway, if this all continues, it will be a fundamental shift in how Google does business. Or it's all PR and spin, and Google will still have a ton of data on you anyway. Stay tuned for final conclusions on that. We also got the expected Pixel 3a and Pixel 3 You Could Be Mine. Neither phone has a notch, and both phones have headphone jacks. The prices line up as expected, and for all intents and purposes, these phones offer the same software and camera experience as their siblings. As Dieter Bohn of The Verge notes, he has never said that a phone that costs under $400 has had a great camera, and he's saying it now. This is the phone to buy if you're shopping in the $300 to $500 range, and right now there are a ton of offers out there offering up to $100 in Best Buy or Google Play Store credit, so your cost is basically $300, which is insane. We also got a ton of software developments from a developers conference. Whoa, who'da thunk it? Google Duplex 2.0 is now focused on auto-filling web forms, which is less sexy but also less creepy than calling restaurants with a robot voice. Android Q Beta 3 dropped, which offers the option to only share location data while the app is running. GasBuddy. Guess that little revenue stream just dried up, didn't it? But arguably, the biggest announcement at the conference was also the smallest, but also the most useful. Soon, you will be able to turn off alarms and timers from your Google Home devices just by saying stop. Not, okay Google stop, or hey Google turn off the timer, just stop. That is life-changing. On the ground at Google I/O, Android authorities David Amell reported that the buzz was all about the new hardware, the Google Pixel 3 and the Google Pixel 3 Double Tuck and Jive, and of course the Nest Hub Max. On the software side, AR is getting a big push, as is on-device operations. And finally, this may have gone unnoticed by some, but not by me, Google said the word podcast quite a bit yesterday, which I think is a win for everyone, am I right? You damn right it is. So with that bit of great news, let's head on into the roundup! One last little note about Google I/O, Android Q announced native support for foldables. In fact, it led off the Android Q section of the keynote by proclaiming that Android Q was bringing native foldable support. But when CNET spoke to the Vice President of Product Management and Chief Bigwig of all things Pixel, he said regarding foldables, we're definitely prototyping the technology. We've been doing it for a long time. I don't think there's a clear use case yet. So there's no clear use case for foldables, but you gave it top billing at your keynote. There's probably a world where that makes sense, but I don't think this is it. Waymo and Lyft are partnering up to bring more self-driving cars to Lyft service in Phoenix, which seems a little weird because Waymo is already in Phoenix. But this is a way for both companies to increase presence, Lyft with more self-driving cars and Waymo with more self-driving customers. It's ironic that while two heads may be better than one in this case, the ultimate goal is to have less heads in the car. San Francisco has banned cashless stores, joining Philadelphia and New Jersey, who have made similar moves. And to our regular listeners, it might surprise you to learn that I actually agree with this move. Now, I personally haven't carried cash on me since 2015. Between credit cards and more frequently my phone, I have had a wonderful time not having money that folds. But I made that choice not to carry cash. It's not a bulletproof lifestyle for sure, and there are real tangible benefits to having cash on you, not the least of which is not everyone has a bank account and direct deposit. So, while I will spend hours debating the merits of living a cashless life, I will not force it upon you nor disrespect your choice. We're not quite there, people. Almost, but not quite. Now, as for businesses that accept only cash, they can go f*** themselves. You may suspect that a huge power plant is doing nothing but pumping out poison to the world, and soon we'll know exactly how much. Like, exactly. A non-profit artificial intelligence firm called WattTime is going to use satellite data to track world pollution in real time and make the data public. Basically, we're going to know and be able to verify via a third party what power plants are the dirtiest and what countries are polluting the most. And by we, I mean you and me and governments and world leaders, everyone. Well, everyone who cares enough to look, anyway. The short-term and long-term ramifications of this are huge, and this is long overdue. Star Wars and Avatar movies are coming every Christmas from now until 2027, which is nice, even if one of them is a grossly overrated franchise and the other one is Star Wars. I'm not really in any position to complain, considering all the hoopla that superhero movies have made for the past couple of years. It's great that those fans will have something to look forward to every year. As for me, I'll be safely ensconced with my Disney Plus subscription. Thank you very much. And finally, Reddit asked the question: you're transported 200 years into the past with a fully charged smartphone, but no charger. What do? Well, here's what I'd do. Go buy a newspaper, flip on the selfie camera, and record a video telling myself what happened and how I got transported back there and how to prevent it. Then I'd turn it off, seal it up in a metal box, and take it to the nearest courier service and leave instructions that it be delivered to me in 2019. Maybe it doesn't work, maybe it does. Either way, it'll be time to get back to Fort Dearborn because Chicago wasn't even a city yet back then. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about digitdailypod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.